do where you can put a buzzer underneath the bridge, and so if the NG's walking across the bridge, and the buzzer will kill the NG from below the bridge.
What?
Yeah.
That is not cool. Right, so
it's something which is, it's one of those sort of grey area things where it's never been sort of like explicitly forbidden, and it has been used in tournaments before. So yeah,
BikeRush going for the early explorer there. Interesting.
Yeah, it's can be risky, though. Yeah, early shadows from, well, just one shadow from Luvas, which I'm not a fan of really. I much prefer to, like, if you're gonna go shadows, you may as well get 2 squads just to go and do a bit of damage in the base, and that's really the power of them. Gets killing power plants and putting your opponent on low power, and generally just forcing out early units when you want to be building halves. It really gives you it gives you scouting, so you're safe early on, and yeah, but just one is scouting and damage, and yeah, it helps you catch up. But yeah, I'm not a fan of just the one, but we'll see how it pans out.
Yes, there you go. We've got a half damage power plant. So I almost think he's given away the fact that his eco is not all that great. Like you said, it's...
Yeah, and... Oh yeah, also he's not gone for the usual follow-up of going for 2 refineries before getting your war factory, which tends to give you a more stable eco early on. Going for the war factory first. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how it will work for him. It depends, yeah, how much damage Bike can do early, and if Bike's able to hold this expansion. Because I've got a feeling that Luvaskot might go for fast tech. Oh no, he's going for 2 war factories. So yeah, 2 war factories is probably the right choice, but I don't know, because of the fact that he's delayed the 2 war factories with shadows. I don't know if the timing will be right. This Bike's already got 2 refs on an expansion. He's already got a lot of seekers out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the swell of Scorps will come in time. He's got a portal down so he can get descents and also photon cannons. He's getting Devourers now, so I think Bike should be okay. So Bike, really, if Bike gets his tier 3 out, which he should be, I don't know if he's building that right now. No, going for a second war factory. Yeah, second war factory is probably better, because if he just gets 2 war factory Devourers and then holds this middle field with them, he should be absolutely fine.
Yeah, so much dominance on this middle Tiberium field here. We've got some Scorps going up against some Seekers. However, we've got Devourers not only powering up but benefiting from the sort of defender's advantage of the repairs from the war factory. So, although there are lots of Scorpions having an impact here, where has the MCV gone from Luvaskot? Can you see
an MCV cell, I think.
Yes, I thought so. There we go, Luvaskot.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think that's all down to not going to extra shadows, and also the build was questionable. If he'd gone for the 2 extra shadows, maybe he would have seen the outpost and been able to kill it. He could have gone for the power plants and then delayed, just made Bike have to build more power plants in his main, and just generally harassed him. Would have forced out Bike to build Seekers at the war factory instead of going for halves, and then Bike wouldn't have just had that smooth transition to the mid game, and then following it up with an MCV set, a delayed 2 war factory MCV cell. This just didn't make sense. Matchup, so it's a repeat of the Luvaskot versus Shocktapus game with a GDI versus Nod matchup.
And I'm much happier to see Bike in red. I know I won't be making many mistakes on this one. Barracks up a little bit before from Luvaskot, although I'm sure both players will claim their spikes relatively easily. This isn't really a spike poker map, with both being quite close to their bases.
There is a bit of spike poker, but like it's very, very risky spike poker.
Yeah,
like, you can
absolutely.
do like power plant cells to try and get your opponent's energy. You can like screen. You can go mass buzzers for your opponent's spike, but that's about it. And if both of those things are easily stoppable with good play, whereas other maps, some of the spike poker is just you're just screwed. Like, and there's not a lot you can do about it.
Luva a tiny bit ahead in terms of building placement, although I think we might see some rockets going into the tower here from Bike.
Yeah, it looks like it. No early APCs again from Bike. Oh, he's got one
He's
APC.
got one
an
with
APC
a rocket squad inside.
Yeah, I mean that's and it looks like he's going for two. So yeah, that's interesting.
He's got a
Might
pit
be
bull
able
as
to
well.
get Yes, I think basically he's expecting a refinery to be on this top side and trying to just do a little bit of poke damage and force out early units from Luvaskot. But there aren't any halves to do any damage to, so that's a bit of a plus from that. Luvaskot's not even going for the top field. So I think if he's going for 3 refs on the bottom, that kind of indicates that he probably wants to go for fast tier 3. Because you tend to go 3 refs at the bottom, get your operation center tech up, and then try and establish your top field once you've got your tech. The Bike looks like he's just fairly safe, I would say. But I don't like that second ref there, because there's no spacing between them whatsoever. So that's a prime one-click
Yeah, catalyst
right
missile target there for sure. Luva now up onto the platform. He has retained the 3 refs at his safe field. He's now leeching from the one on the platform.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of this build. It just seems a bit too slow for me. But I'm also not a huge fan of Bike's build either, just mainly because of the ref placement. What I prefer to do with this is that armory, which is down at the bottom, you use that to help spread the refs on the middle field. So you get the armory and your command post, and then you build your 4th ref. So they're far spread apart. You can't actually do any. You can only get 1 ref. But this little poke from Bike might do a bit of damage.
Yep, all those harvesters forced off the field.
Yeah, and this is kind of like why I thought I'm not a fan of Luvas's build. Is that if he was on tier 3 already, which he would be if he had not gone for if he'd either not gone for the 3 refs at the bottom or not gone for the ref at the top, then he would have no problem getting an obelisk up just to completely shut this down. But he may shut it down anyway, but it just feels a little.
Oh, sorry, Shock. I was just going to say, I think the tier 3 might be imminent. Yep, it is coming in from Luvaskot.
But yeah,
Sniper.
the tier 3 is also up from Bike, which is the issue.
Yeah.
Whereas if he hadn't gone for that ref at the top or hadn't gone for one of the refs at the bottom, he would have a tech advantage over Bike, and then using 1-clicks and obelisks and stuff to defend, then you can then sort of use that to snowball an advantage, whereas now it's just an even game. The big question is whether he can have time to get I mean, I'm not a fan of the tech placement from Bike either, so if you use those 1-clicks on that upper field, then Bike may be in some trouble.
Yeah.
But whether he's got the time to do that's what it's all going to boil down to.
Spike coming down. Spike is down, so Luva the only player with a spike. As we see some avatars being produced by Luvaskot, and it looks like we might be reaching 1-click territory as an MCV comes out from BikeRush. So forcing the issue here, I think, Bike, with a trademark MCV push. This is going to get interesting.
A good use of the AA batteries from Bike to try and shut down any attempts of the Vapor Bomb to save the tech. Though, and also a nice sort of line of units not pushing in too early, and
Sonic
yeah,
emitters.
now attacking once the Sonics come down. So yeah, I think that Luvas may have a tough time holding this.
Sell off of a refinery. We've got some Black Hand squads that should do some damage to this Sonic emitter, but another one immediately up. Let's see if it can focus fire on some of these units. Tib Vapor Bomb, MCB half health, doesn't quite get the War Factory, although that could go down.
That War Factory.
Yeah, needs to go for it. Oh, he's prioritizing the MCV here. Oh no, is he going to get it? He probably is. There we go, 2 jugs up though. The very advanced Black Hand squad trying to flame down the tier 3 of Bike Rush. But it looks like the fact that these Juggernauts and the War Factory stayed up, keeping that build radius. And the GG coming in from Luvaskot.
Yeah,
2-0.
Like I said, I think it all came down to the build choice and Luvaskot. Like, if you're going to go for 3 refs on your main, you just need to go really, really fast tech. You're deciding to, I mean, the eco was just, don't know what he was doing. You kind of got to pick a strategy and go for it. Like, if you do some things of half and half, then it's just not gonna work out. Whereas Bike's strategy was just very simple, just very light pressure at the start with an APC and pit fit just to see what's going on. Mass eco, little poke with preds and snipers, get your tech up, and then MCVs and jugs, because he knew that Luvas didn't have anything to push him back, so he had all the time in the world. Whereas, if Luvas had really gone quick with his tech, he might have been able to slow Bike down by killing the refs of the expansion, maybe even had a time to kill the tech center before those AA turrets were up. So yeah, there's lots of little things which meant that I wasn't a fan of that build. You either go fast tech or go for a slower build where you defend with rockets and try and push out with tech yourself later. But just not an efficient build, I don't think, by Luvaskot. Well, you can just send your harvester down to the main, and then once you've fended it off, you can then send it back up again. It's not a big deal. But yeah, you kind of just got to. Yeah, you've just got to make a cohesive strategy. So it'll be interesting here with Bike picking Scrin and also avoiding red, which is going to annoy you slightly.
Yes.
So yeah, a Scrin versus Nod on Pipeline. I think that does favour Nod, but it'll be interesting to see
Nod
if Bike's got something.
Hand of Nod first as I jump in there. So we have already had a split in strategy slightly, with Luvaskot trying to claim the spike.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's not the wisest thing to do, though it looks like he's going to. I can see why he's done it now, because he's gone for a delayed Shadow Team build. So that, it makes a bit more sense now, because normally with Nod you can just build a barracks a bit later on behind the ridge to secure a safe capture of the spike. But with this delayed Shadow Team opening, let's see how much damage it can do, but I'm not sure how much damage it can do, because, well, the Bike seems to be anticipating it and going for a buzzer hive.
Already a buzzer in front of the crane. That was one of the first things that he put down, so yeah, a bit of a cold counter there. We'll see, we'll see how many power plants, and he's already got 3 power plants, so this is a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, and the Shadow Teams just don't come early enough to do the damage they'd like to do. And but it looks like he's not invested overly heavily in them. It looks like he's just built the 2 from, well, built 1 and sold the shrine, I think he's done. So it's not a sort of game-ending commitment, but every little does help. in terms of eco, so it could be that little edge which Bike gets in order to win. Though he does get the crane. Nice little micro, yeah, to avoid the buzzer hive and then get in behind and kill it and kill the hive as well. So that could prove decisive if Luvas is able to follow it up well.
We have a very small force here in the north from BikeRushOwnz, one Seeker and a Lightning Spike.
Yeah, so Luvas has definitely got the advantage now because he's got his crane, which he can still be using to tech, and got 2 war factories. But Bike does have his tier 3 up, but no crane. So it depends. It's going to see how quickly Bike can get eco on his third and how much damage Luvas can do with his Scorp attack. And I'm not a fan of 3 war factories. I think that delays his eco. The advantage of having a crane over your opponent is that you can build refs while they can't build. Well, you can double build refs while your opponent can't, or build refs and tech at the same time.
Yeah.
3 war factories, it's just you're not gonna have the eco to be able to build off 5 build queues at this point in the game. So it kind of, you could do enough pressure with 2 war factories and then get refs and tech, but maybe this swell of units will be able to kill. Bike does have 1 tripod, so if these Scorps can do critical damage, then it could be game over. So let's see if Bike can hold.
2 MCVs now from Bike, or drone ships I should say, and we've got tier 3 base defense in the storm column. Drone ship being placed down, so we're probably going to see a storm column defense here.
Yeah, it's not the best defense, but it will do. It really, at the moment, you just need to spam disintegrators like a madman. But it looks like he is going to just about, yeah, photon cannons are probably the better choice. So yeah, nice hold by Bike. Though I think Luvaskot is far from dead at this point. So really, he's just going to have to end up selling one of those war factories anyway, because he's not going to be able to afford to build off all 3, and it's not particularly efficient to be building off all 3 anyway. So that's why I don't think he should have gone for the 3 in the first place.
Yeah,
if he'd just got for 2, then he could still put pressure on this field and have this tech up much sooner. And then, though, instead of attacking with a bunch of unupgraded Scorps, he'd be attacking with elite Scorps with dozer blades, which may have been able to put a bit more damage on. But now Bike does have a chance to counter push with his drone platform and see if he can get like a little outpost where he's able to build devastators and try and force Luvas off this field.
Yes, let's see if Luva can see this. He can see it.
And also Luvas needs to be more active. Those Scorps are sitting there. It isn't going to. Yeah, he's finally sending them down now to see if he can get a flank. If he can sort of get in behind, there's all those power plants and the main MCV, the tech which he can get. So if Luvas can do that and kill those Scorps, then that may be able to give him a little bit more of a chance. At the moment, it looks like Bike's putting a lot of pressure on those tripods and those devastator warships. But I think Luvas is not in immediate danger of dying. But let's see how these Scorps do.
Yes, we're going to have to switch quickly between 2 areas. Looks like the action's in the south. Storm columns coming up there. Dozer blades on the Scorpion tanks. Using the mobility well here. And we have power plants going down as we track Bike in the north.
Yeah, because now because of all those power plants, it means the power is going to go off. So Bike is building more. So yeah, critical moment, the power plant's going down, so it allows the avatars to push in.
This is going to be interesting. The Devastator warship I would love those. That's really unfortunate. Love those Vellums to have gone and taken out that Devastator warship.
It would be the right decision.
They're just getting taken out. Oh, Tiv Vapor Bomb. Very timely. Although I wonder if it could have been saved in the because they were quite low health, but it's certainly
I think it was a good
slam
decision
dunk
in the
there.
end.
And we see some Raider buggies coming in just in time with the laser upgrade. They're going to make light work of these descents. Let's see if these avatars can keep marching forward.
Yeah, it looks like Luvas has got this one. It was an odd choice for Bike to pick Skrin, but and yeah, I mean, I wasn't a massive fan of Luvas's build, but he has sort of played it out quite well in the end.
Although
I think Bike
causing the retreat here, the avatars, Descent sort of taking over, and he's recapturing some of the tripods there. So
yeah, I mean, the interesting thing is that Luvas doesn't have much economy on this field. Because the refs are going down, and it's a very odd choice to go for the Catalyst missile, but those Scorps are still doing damage on the backside. It's just whether Luvas can stabilise here.
I think he's been pushed back so far that he can't possibly have the eco to really support anything more. Those Scorpion tanks are down, and yeah,
he's killed. Yeah, he's reclaimed 2 of the husks. Yeah, Luvas really should have won this. I think it came down really to, like I said, those 3 war factories. If it was 2 war factories, he'd have had tech earlier. He had eco on this field earlier, and he wouldn't have been pushed back, and he could have still done the damage in behind the lesser amount of Scorp, but he'd have been more prepared to deal with any counter push.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's still not 100% over yet, because I don't think Bike quite has the forces to land a devastating blow, and avatars are very tanky. Yeah. So it's just whether Luvas can get any more eco off this field, and whether Luvas can muster enough forces up to actually win the game. And the Bike doesn't have any tier 3 because it was killed by those Scorps at the back. So he is limited into building Devourers, which are not good at, avatars laugh in the face of Devourers. So it's just what if Luvas can kill that Devastator and deal with the Inf, then that's going to be the key. And nice that one Seeker. Yeah, that Seeker's really going to be useful, as long as just to go make sure that those halves can't harvest anything.
I've certainly seen a few games from yourself where you've held strong in this position. So let's hope we can see some competitive action here.
It's certainly possible. As I said, it's the not having a tier 3 which is the real big sort of clincher. Well, that it's the thing which gives Luvaskot hope, is the fact that there's no tier 3 for Bike. Because Devourers, like I said, they just get crushed by avatars, but you don't even need that many avatars.
Shock, there is something tasty going on that tech center. I wonder if you can guess what is in store. Just appeared on the map now.
Oh, it's EMP.
Yes.
EMP. Oh, that's an interesting choice. Yeah. I mean, I think that's as far as I'll go. It's an interesting choice.
I love the EMP coils on those buggies. Bit of a flare play. Let's hope. Let's see how much they can do. I don't think they can do a great deal. I think Luvaskot also hasn't got any tier 3. So. Oh no! Fantastically timed stasis. Oh yeah, he calls in the GG as soon as that stasis comes down. That's unfortunate we didn't get to see a battle, but that is 3-0. So if Bike can win the next game, he has won the series, and I have to send him $50.
Joke that.
Exactly right. Okay, so has Bike gone red? He has. Thank the Lord. The player in the north getting a slight advantage in terms of being closer to the spike. I think marginally, so we'll see if that has an influence. Focus the action on these spikes. And we have shadow teams from Bike Rush. And this engineer is going to be taken out, I'm sure. There we go.
Bike's gone shadows and Luvas hasn't.
I'm pretty surprised to not see for someone to go nod and then not go shadows.
Yeah,
That to me is
well,
strange.
It's like I said, it's part of the whole spike poker aspect. Is if you know, but basically what it comes down to is that if you go shadows and they go shadows, sometimes you can go shadows but not build the NGs just to kill your opponent's NGs when they go shadows, and then use that to get an advantage. But you can then also anticipate that and then build two engines and sort of hide them around the sides of the map to try and get the spikes anyway. Or you can just go two engines with no shadows, thinking it just gets really stupid, really quickly. But this is about as even as it's going to get. Though Bike, it looks like, is slightly behind.
I think Bike's pretty confident. He's just beaconed a glitched harvester for his opponent, so I don't think you do that if your back's up against the wall, do you?
Well, he is down in eco, and in terms of the refineries, I think Lubas has got 5 harvesters, where Bike's only on 3.
That is true. That is true.
And it does look like Luvas has managed to get a spike as well, so he must have been able to sneak an NG.
Oh, goodness me,
somewhere.
Yeah, good spot. Don't know how I missed that. That is really key. And good placements of the shadow turrets there, shredder turrets I should say, to kill some shadow teams. Although there is one hiding at the back here, but it doesn't look like it's enough to take anything out.
I think Bike's gone for an MCV cell, it looks like.
He has, I can see an NG, and that's going to go and reclaim that spike, isn't it?
Yeah, the difficulty with this MCV cell is that Luvaskot has already got 2 war factories, so I'm not sure like how much damage it's going to do. Might get a harvester, but you know, Luvas already has a spike and has 5 halves. You're on 3, so you need to get multiple halves.
Yeah, there are not enough bikes now to take anything out, I don't think.
Yeah, that's just like, yeah.
These spikes scored the GG.
Yeah, like I said,
4 minutes.
game.
Yes, I must admit I was pessimistic about Luvaskot's chances.
A little shrine in the corner.
Yeah. Okay, and are we true to form in terms of colours? Yes, we are. So we have Bike as red, Nod in the bottom left, and we have Luva as the, what would you call this, Shock? Would you call it teal, light blue?
Cyan, I think.
Cyan.
I'm not sure. I'm not a colour person.
Aficionado. No, neither am I. 2 NGs coming out from both players. They are going to claim the spikes. Nothing untoward so far. Nothing that we wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I mean, the only sort of like deviation you could have is one person going for shadows and one other person not, or both people going for shadows. But yeah, nothing like that happening. Just look like both of them are going to go for the very standard 2 refinery fast tech 1-clicks and see who can get more damage done.
Couple of defensive rockets though from Luvaskot, barricading themselves into buildings, so maybe expecting some early Bike buggy. Certainly will be useful to spot any flame tanks. I've seen Bike go flame tanks quite readily in this map, and then taking fast behind it. But it is a race for the 1-clicks, isn't it, Shock?
Yeah, it's fairly standard to go for the rockets in there. It basically means that it's slightly harder for get those scouts in to spot for the one clicks. It means they've got to, instead of going directly down the guts, it means you've got to go around the side, so it can delay them slightly. Also, I'm not a massive fan of Bike's refinery placement.
That's going to go down with the one click, isn't it?
They could both go down with a well-placed one-click, yeah. Whereas Luvaskot spread is slightly better. But, yeah, like I said, there's not a lot going to be happening right now. It's all down to who's going to get the bigger one-click when it comes, and who is able to tech faster.
Some bike buggy prowling there from Luvaskot in bike space. Just poking, not doing any damage, and we see a Scorpion tank chasing them away.
They're all fairly standard stuff, getting a scout, just checking to make sure that your opponent's not doing anything goofy, and you kind of need to build at least a bike and a buggy at the start anyway, just in case your opponent did decide to go for 5 shadow teams. But it looks like Bike's got his tier 3 up. And,
as has Luva.
But it looks like, according to the MCV, Bike is about 5 seconds ahead with the one click, so anticipate them coming down vertically, and he's already got the scout. So yeah, Luvas has moved his harvesters away in anticipation, but he has still got one. Oh no, one's coming back.
Oh, here's the call. One goes down, one ref as well.
Yeah, and Luvas doesn't have a scout in Bike's base to take advantage of. Yeah, Bike's being smart and pulling his halves away now, waiting for the one click to go down. But if he loses both those...
There we go, big moment here. Ooh.
Oh, that's so bad. He could have easily got... I just don't know if he had the vision.
Yeah, that's true. And immediately the Bike's ready. Okay. That is unfortunate.
But I just quickly switched to Luva's point of view. It looks like he had like rapidly receding vision, so I think that's the reason why he had such poor placement there of that one click. And really, when you're going for one clicks, you need to anticipate when they're coming in. So you need to have a bike and a buggy coming in, getting you full vision of where you want to be placed at the right time. But that's what didn't happen.
I think I just saw one of Luva's bikes attacking his own war factory there, so obviously disappointed on how that catalyst missile went.
Yeah, I think maybe it was just a when you're control grouping things, you obviously press control, and that's also the same thing for force attack. So sometimes you can accidentally force attack things when you're making control groups.
3 refs already on the expansion. And yet the bike's swooping in, immediately thinking, nope. And
I'd like to say it's not over, but I mean, it is.
It's over.
It would like Bike would need to have like a heart attack or something like at his desk.
Oh god.
For Luvas to have a chance.
Yeah.
Of winning this game.
My PayPal account's looking $50 lighter. And I think this construction yard is going to get tugged down, at least somewhat, by these Scorpions. And he's even found time to build another MCV and target down his opponent's expansion.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Bike's got... I think he's just got 2, so I think that's just the one from his main.
He's moved the one from his base, yeah.
Yeah, so... But still... I think that Bike's superior eco means in this obelisk war, Bike's just going to win.
Yeah, and we have Black Hand squads as well.
This is why I utterly detest this map. Just obelisk versus obelisk and selling operation sensors. It's just so ugh. But yeah,
I'm hoping for the next tournament in, I don't know, maybe a month and a half. Let's have a different map pool. I think we've had some pretty successful tournaments.
Oh yeah, but the last one with the custom maps was quite a good one. The ones from Tiberium X. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's the last game in the final, so Lewis is obviously going to try and hold on for as long as possible, just in case Bike, maybe he's got diarrhea and needs to run off to the toilet or something. Maybe there's a slight chance that he's got something like that happens, but I mean, that is literally like the only chance, I think.
Yeah, maybe the game crashes or something, but yeah, that's it. Look at the overwhelming number of avatars there.
If the game crashed, you'd still give the game to Bike. Like, there's no way Luvaskot can come back from this situation. He does have 3 stealth tanks, but it looks like they are gonna die like fairly quickly.
Yeah, I think
Even if both of those stealth tanks went heroic, I still think Bike would still win the game.
And they have been targeted down now, so that is it. I think that is it. As you said, I think only not calling it an afternoon because it is the final match. Some rocket troopers being produced here, unless the sort of I don't know what you'd call that, the ball from the hand of Nod can roll through all these.
One purpose.